Hey, it's Danny from Carp Global in Preston, and in my hand I have a bunch of Wolf Spods. And everybody in the carp fishing world will, at some point in their carp fishing, will have needed to send some bait out at a distance, and the spod is the preferred method to do that. You know, you can't use a bait boat on every venue. Sometimes a bait boat's just too much. You just need to deliver bait accurately. It's the spod. And over the years, many people have invented different variations of the spod. Now, I remember the Gardner little pocket rockets and stuff used to fall out. I remember people making them out of pieces of pipe, drilling holes in them so there was no resistance when you was reeling in, trying to get something that would float into the top, and all sorts of crazy concoctions. You've got the ones that open and the springs fly out if you sort of crash into the tree, or you touch the top of your bivvy and they all fly open. All of the problems, all of the issues that we've ever experienced with the humble spod are being eliminated by the Wolf X Spod. Right, this is the best spod on the market bar none, and I'm going to show you now a bunch of reasons why you need to invest in one or two, or like I've got like loads of these. Seldom do you crack off with them if you know how to cast and you feather your line down, and they come back beautifully every time. But there are some advantages over all the other spods on the market, and I'm going to hopefully demonstrate some of those for you now. So to start with, there's different colours and different sizes. This is the large one, and this is the sort of small one. Now they've got different names for them. So the smaller one is called the Competition, the larger one is called the Performance. Right, now they come packaged, as you can see, on a little bit of card, and you just whip that off and take off the elastic band that's holding this thing together, right? So the first thing you'll notice is they are shaped like a rocket. They've got the fins built in, and they seem to be very well made. Now, that is probably an understatement, right? These are rock solid to the point where you can literally jump on these things, right? I'm sure you might have seen a video on Facebook, on TikTok, going around with an elephant standing on the Wolf Spod. That is no joke, right? You can literally smash these things, not like you want to, but they won't break. It will take an extreme amount of force to break these things, right? You'll have to literally attack it with a saw or something, right? So he's pretty much indestructible, right? Which is kind of useful, knowing how many spods and bits of fishing tackle you've destroyed in your fishing lifetime, right? So indestructible. Second thing, it floats. That might sound quite simple and quite obvious, but some manufacturers require that you buy like a silly little float, and I don't know, you put it inside, you put it on your line, and it deteriorates over time and it loses body, and it's just a waste of time, right? Some fisheries won't even let you spod without that float. You can go to your fishery and say, hey, no problem, this thing floats, right? So it's got a built-in float, the whole thing floats, right? So that's two awesome reasons, indestructible and floats. Third reason, it won't open because there's no silly button at the front to accidentally you go, whoop, oh, we dropped it. It won't break, no problem. You go like that to cast, over your head, it touches the top of your bivvy or a tree, and you end up with bait all over, right? Those days are gone. This thing is held together with magnets, right? And they're quite strong magnets. Now, they will only open when the spod hits the water. Now, the one time you might struggle with that is if you do a bit of a dodgy cast and the spod pretty much comes down vertically, right? So make sure when you're casting, you get the proper angles, you feather the line, and the spod should be hitting the water at sort of a nice 45 degrees. If it's going to come down from the heavens straight down, you've casted it too far up and you need to adjust your technique, right? But if you do a good cast, it's going to hit the water and it's going to open, right? Which is good. But it's not going to open when it touches your bivvy. Does that make sense? Kind of useful, right? So this thing's going to hit the water, and not only is it going to open in 2, it's going to open in 4. And that, in my opinion, is one of the coolest spods on the market, simply for that reason, never mind the rest of the reasons that I've told you, because that means that not one morsel of bait will be left inside this device. And not only that, it just skims back across the water with zero resistance when you are reeling it in. Does that make sense? So it's indestructible, it floats, it'll cast super nice, and you know, it's going to open every time when it hits the water. It's not going to open when it touches your bivvy or touches a tree behind you. The magnets are going to hold everything together. When it does open, it opens in 4, and that means that all the bait drops out, and you can retrieve that almost like it's skating across the water super fast with minimal effort, because the more effort you put into something, the tireder you're going to get and the less you're going to enjoy your fishing. Also, because you've got the different sizes, it means you can pile it in or you can be more delicate. You've got different colours to match different eventualities, different circumstances. Personally, I love the orange and black. This one always sells out first, but who cares what colour it is? It's more of a preference. The fish don't know, as long as you're delivering good quality bait. So one other thing you can do with this, which is kind of amazing, in fact a few more things you can do with this, which is kind of amazing. First one, because you can load it through one of its doors, right? You don't have to open the whole half of the thing. Can you see how much volume you get inside the spod just by doing it through one compartment? So if you open this spod up by one compartment, one little of these little doors, you can fill this right to the top without any problems. Does that make sense? And then you just let go and the thing will close automatically with the magnets. You know that this is super solid. Here's a tip for you. Just before you close it and before you cast out, just make sure you've not got like a little bit of hemp seed or something that's actually going to stop the magnets from closing. You don't want anything in the little joints. So just give it a little wipe down. Make sure everything's secure before you cast it and you won't have any problems. So from that going forward, yes, you can fill it up to the top with your usual boilies, ground bait, whatever it is you're putting in. You can also use liquids. Right, this thing is pretty much watertight. So if you're using a thick syrupy liquid that's going to go to the bottom of the lake, get yourself some cooking oil, walnut oil, peanut oil, whatever. Brush the inside of the spod, or just put a little tiny drop inside the spod and give it a shake. You only need to do that once every sort of 20 casts, every 30 casts, and then your thick syrupy liquids or your cloudy liquids, for example, you get the jerry cans, right? Most bait companies have a jerry can with some sort of attractor, some sort of glug that you're going to pour over your boilies or whatever. Pour it into your spod, close the lid. As long as you put that walnut oil in or that peanut oil, as soon as this hits the water, it's opening all 4s, and that liquid will descend. Now, you can use different liquids for different circumstances. You might not want it to go to the bottom. You might want to be zig fishing, and you might want a big cloud in the water, whatever. This will deliver solid bait. It'll deliver liquid bait. It'll deliver ground bait. What more do you want? It's indestructible. It floats. You don't need to buy a float for it. It retrieves perfectly. It won't open when it touches your bivvy. It's bright. It's colourful. It does what it says on the tin. It flies like a dream. You're not having to worry about fins falling off or anything like that. If you stand on it, it doesn't matter. If you crush it in your bag, it doesn't matter. Is that not enough reasons to go and change your spods to the Wolf Spod right now? It's like, if you're not using one of these and you're still messing around with springs and floats and things opening and like getting tired because they just don't fly very well and all the rest of it. It's like, don't believe everything you see on the online videos. This is a personal recommendation. I've been using this thing for pretty much years since it came out, and I will never go back to another spod again. We don't stock any other spods. I've got loads of spods I could choose from, but we don't stock them. This is the only one, or the only 6. All right, because there's 3 big ones, as you can see, and there's 3 of the small ones, and that means there's a spod for everybody in the Wolf range. I've spent 10 minutes talking about it, right? And that's like kind of difficult to talk about something for 10 minutes. I could talk about it for longer, but I'm not going to, because by the time I've done that, they've probably sold out and they don't come into stock too often. You may have seen them at the shows. Either way, click the button or click the link in this video, around this video, and don't forget, it's in stock, it's ready to ship. We'll give you a free extra with it as well. You might find a savings code somewhere, or we might email you a savings code to save a bit of money as well. A little bit more expensive than other spods on the market, but look, if it doesn't break and it doesn't drop to bits and it lasts you a lifetime, as long as you don't like literally cast it over the trees, it's got to be worth that little bit more that you would invest. The fact that it can cast liquids and anything and it's pretty much unbreakable makes this a worthy investment. You're not going to be wasting your money. You don't have to buy it again. Get yourself 1 or 2, put them in your bag, get out there fishing, smash your fishing goals. It's Danny from Carp Global in Preston. I can't wait to see you on the order sheet with one of these winging its way to you, and I can't wait to see the fish that you catch as a result of being more accurate and getting in more bait with each cast. It's Danny from Carp Global in Preston. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.